Welcome back to the Backlog Boys podcast. Here with me, as always, feed my starving Alexander.
Hey, what's up, guys? I'm hungry, like Omar says.
This boy's starving.
No, I'm doing a fast to lose some weight, and Omar's over here making fun of me for it.
Yeah, dude, fuck losing weight. We're all gonna be fat and die.
I don't want to do that. So,
And then we have our own personal Uber Eats driver, Samuel Hobo.
Hey, I'm the hobo. No, I'm sorry. I'm gonna cut that.
nah, keep it in. Keep it in.
Yo, you want me to hold back? Do you want me to go?
No, I'm gonna go from responding. I'm gonna be like,
Hey, hey, hello, Mario.
okay.
A few moments later.
Today I brought Duncan. Last time I brought Little Caesars. Next time, I don't know. Maybe I'll get you guys some high quality dining.
A kiss.
I make sure it's low in calories.
No, I'm gonna get you Five Guys, Alex.
Don't do that.
Yeah.
And then the host with the most boast, the boast. Me, the golden boy himself.
Omar the star.
Omar, what? And you might be saying to yourself, what the fuck?
It's too early.
This isn't a video game.
It's not the end of the month.
Also, this isn't a Sunday. Also, it's like 8 a.m. with us right now. And we're all sleepy as fuck.
Yeah, Omar, what's going on?
You know what the fuck's going on, dude?
No, I don't. Tell me.
We've heard the pleas and the cries of the people begging and crying for more content. And we're like,
Yeah?
we can't play video games that fast. That's a lot of work.
We did cut out 30 minutes of our Batman talk last week, so why don't we do movies? Talk
You know
about
what,
movies.
Alex? That's a great fucking
Yeah.
idea that we just made up right now.
Yeah.
What about you, Sam? What do you think?
Fantastic idea.
That's entirely,
Anyway, so I was thinking. Sorry, I just really want to do that
that's
joke.
good.
Sam, what about you? What do you think?
That's totally an idea that we just had and we didn't pre-plan out for the last 2 hours.
And totally not your little brother begging us for more content.
Yeah.
For sure.
But no, in all seriousness, during that Resident Evil review we did, I talked about the Batman for way too long, probably. But I think that inspired us to be like, hey,
Yeah, no,
we could do this more.
How much did you cut out, Sam? Like 10, 15 minutes?
I cut out like 20 minutes, dude.
And that's not even me going that hard.
Yeah.
I could have gone like way longer.
Oh, yeah.
honestly. And we think the movies fits the backlog criteria because these movies most of us have not seen. So we were like, hey, let's just do it with the movies. So Sam, what about the name? Because I don't want us to distract ourselves from the original podcast.
Yeah.
I want to keep that numeral correct for just video
Yeah,
games.
this is more like a side podcast.
A side hustle, if you will.
Yeah.
After spending 2.5 hours painstakingly thinking about a name, we decided to go with the first name that we chose, which is Backlog Boys Club at the cinema.
So now we have our name. The gimmick is basically the same as what we're doing for the video games, where we pick whoever list we choose from originally. Then we choose a movie from said list. We all watch it. We give ourselves about a week to watch the movie. We come back and we just talk about the movie.
Yeah.
That's what we're gonna be doing now. I don't know. Like I say Wednesday, but we're recording it on Wednesday. So I don't know when we're gonna. Record
Yeah,
it.
I'd say probably at least twice a month.
Yeah, so at least
Yeah.
twice a month. So that's at least maybe 3 videos a month for you special boys and girls listening. But this week, because we're doing an intro, I thought it was appropriate if we maybe talk about our history with movies, how our experiences with movies, and maybe talk about some of our favorite movies and directors. We can start with Alexander, since he's the hungriest boy.
Damn. Okay, I didn't think you were going to go with me first. Well, technically, I guess I would be considered a film student right now. Because I'm majoring in media productions, so I guess I'm gonna work in the movies at some point, hopefully.
Big shot over here.
Yeah.
He knows in 10 years he's gonna be working on the next Marvel movie franchise.
I already told myself I'm not gonna consider myself a success unless I work on something Spider-Man. So I may never be a success.
Yeah.
The next Backlog Boy special. Spider-Man.
Yeah, but because I'm technically a film student, I've been trying to watch a lot of the Oscar-nominated movies, Oscar winners. Coda, which won Best Picture this year, has shot up on my list of things I need to watch. But
I really have no idea what's on the list. Actually, I have no idea what was nominated or anything.
just know that Coda won, and I looked it up, and it looks pretty good. Probably have to watch that once it hits Blu-ray. And favorite movies, I think think my all-time favorite movie has to be Kingsman, the first one.
Okay.
Yeah, it's so good.
It's a really good movie.
Yeah.
I kind of hate that movie at the same time though because I started it like 3 different times, but I was never able to finish it because like something else would come up and then I would never get back to it. But then when I finally sat through it, like, you know, I was like, oh, thank God, like that was such a great movie. Like I'm so happy, but at the same time, like, why did it take me so long to finish this goddamn movie?
Yeah, no, it's a pretty good movie.
Pretty sure I
but
watched it when it came out.
Yeah.
And the second one was very disappointing.
Mm.
The second one was okay.
it was-
Have you seen the most recent one?
Oh, the King's Man.
The
or
King's
whatever.
Man.
And
It's
I know just watching it.
I enjoyed it, but it's terrible compared to the other two.
I think the first one is just like that's all you needed to make.
Yeah.
You didn't need to make more.
It didn't need a sequel.
Okay.
Well, Sam.
Well, you know, I'm like every other 2000s kid. I grew up watching Disney movies and the Sam Raimi Spider-Man movies, and I mean, I love those movies. My dad would always every week get a different movie from like the Hollywood Video by our old house in Las Vegas, and we would walk to the Hollywood Videos. I remember getting blisters for these movies, and on the one hand, I hated my dad for making me walk so much, but on the other hand, I was like, man, these are
Built
pretty
character in you.
exactly. They built character, and these were pretty good movies. You know, I mean, as a kid, Madagascar was pretty baller.
I thought you hated Ben Stiller.
Oh, I do. But
That's an exception.
you know, later on in life, in high school, I took a film cinema studies course, and I watched some of the classics there, but I didn't get to watch everything. And since then, I've kind of had like a different perspective when I watch movies. I don't like ruin movies for other people by telling them like, "Ooh, that's a Dutch angle" and all that stuff. But I usually mention, you know, Wes Anderson for his cinematography. I really like the way he paints a picture in his movies.
Tarantino.
Tarantino's great. His movies are so interesting to watch, and they're so good at building suspense that I can't help but be sucked into it. And I also really like Edgar Wright movies. You know, Shaun of the Dead, Hot Fuzz. Those movies are really funny, but like they're the kind of movies I can't recommend to a lot of other people because, you know, a lot of Americans especially won't get the humor or they'll struggle understanding through the accents, but it fits in perfectly for me.
I feel like his visual comedy is hilarious.
For sure.
It's one of my favorite visual like directors. I really use the movie like what would you call it?
The format.
Yeah, the format of like anything of media. He I feel like visual movie like that's perfect for. He does it perfectly. Where I think he utilizes the most he can out of using like film in a movie as opposed to like other directors and especially comedies.
Yeah.
'Cause these are just like all of his fucking movies are different genres, and they're all just equally as fucking funny.
Yeah. And so Omar, where are you at?
So me, I mentioned before in the past, I have an older brother, 6 years older than me, and I want to tell a story my mom told me that explains my brother's movie interest and later on to me. My mom, when she was pregnant, it was 1992. That's when Batman, the second one, came out. The one with Danny DeVito as the Penguin, Mount Keaton's the Batman.
Batman Returns.
Yeah, Batman Returns. And my uncle, God rest his soul, he took my mom. And it said during the movie, my brother kicked in the stomach a lot of that movie. And mom originally was like, oh, it's because the movie's loud. And obviously for like a baby, it's like too much. But then after my brother got born, and my brother's addicted to movies. My mom was like, I think that was like, he listened to it and he was like, I want to watch movies. Obviously, that's me making a dumb joke or some shit. But my brother's obsessed with movies. He's seen so many movies. I every time I'm with him, I'm like, hey, dude, you ever heard this movie? It's some fucking random screw. He was like, oh yeah, I saw that. I was like, what? Like he knew so much. And because we're brothers and we live in the same room for like almost our entire lives, I have to watch anything he watches. So I watched a lot of horror movies, which scarred me because I cannot do horror anymore at all. As at the age of 32, I still cannot do it. And then I had an uncle who owned a million fucking movies. I watched like Final Destination, a bunch of Adam Sandler movies. I do not like Adam Sandler movies.
I don't either.
They were even as a kid, I didn't like them. Now imagine me as an adult.
He's not good.
No.
I think Sam mentioned it with the Sam Raimi movies really like hit different for me because they were just like the first comic book thing. Spider-Man's my favorite superhero of all time.
I think he's all of our favorite superheroes.
Probably,
no?
yeah. I think
believe
so.
so.
Yeah, I'm wearing.
I had the.
I'm wearing a
you were
Spider-Man
the
shirt.
the video game one.
Yeah.
I had like the web slinger, like the one you like actually like. Yeah, you could do it. I had that. My mom regretted it.
I had a
really,
water one.
because mine was like spray, and it would just spray all over their house, and it would just stay there. My mom was like, she took it away from me. But I love Spider-Man, and then I watched a lot of like on FX movies, like Star Wars. That's why I got into Star Wars, Lord of the Rings. Out of like the nerdy shit, basically. I got into that as younger, and I kind of got more nerdy as I got older. And then obviously the classic Disney movies. I watch a lot of like Aladdin, Powerpuff Girls. I know it's not Disney, but I'm saying
Sure.
like,
What's
kid
your
movies.
favorite
cartoon.
Disney movie?
Aladdin. I love Aladdin so
Aladdin?
much. It's so good. I saw it on VHS. I think I almost like destroyed that.
Kind of
VHS.
got into Disney later, so like my favorite Disney movie is
Or, like, later.
probably Tangled.
I knew you were gonna, I don't know why I knew you were gonna say Tangled. I felt it.
Tangled's good.
Maybe because you want to be fucking Flint or whatever.
No, I want to have long flowing locks like Rapunzel.
You're disgusting. I'm gonna have a greasy ass fucking.
I would say Tangled is probably one of the better newer Disney movies. I've always had a soft spot for Treasure Planet because they had a special promotion where they had this weird like spoon thing in cereal boxes and
Oh,
like
the classic.
yeah, and I loved that spoon so much that it kind of like made me love the movie just because I was
I
like
love the spoon so much.
I was like, this is a cool, like, fancy plastic spoon. Like, obviously, as a kid, I didn't realize that it was crappy, but, you know, I fell in love with that movie. But honestly, I prefer some of the DreamWorks stuff over the Disney animated. Like, I really love Road to El Dorado. That's a great.
I don't think I've ever seen those.
Yeah,
No.
it's real good.
Yeah, no, I prefer Disney myself.
I think of like if they weren't on Disney Channel, like I probably would never like I wouldn't have seen them.
Hmm.
Or in my grandma's like VHS collection. Like if it wasn't in those, I wouldn't have watched those. So I also watched a lot of like Will Ferrell 2000 movies. Like I don't know if you guys have heard of Old School.
I've heard of it.
It's
yeah.
Luke Evans, Will Ferrell, Vince Vaughn. That's the first time I've ever seen a woman titties in any form of fashion in that movie.
Wow.
And I started also getting into like those like terrible 2000 comedy movies that are not funny at all anymore.
Yeah.
They're probably made for children, honestly. Even those movies are for like adults. They're terrible.
What movies?
They're like Old School, Neither Roxbury.
Oh, like American Pie type stuff?
Yeah, like shit like that. where, like,
Oh.
It's really not that funny, probably.
I
Especially
like
now that we're older.
American Pie was pretty funny.
Really? Your tastes are getting worse and worse. I think when I got into high school, it like, I don't know, something's clicked into me. And I started loving movies just like my brother. And I used to go to the theater basically every week. I'd watch like any movie that came out, terrible movies, great movies. I'd watch anything. Me and my brother and another cousin, all three of us would watch movies every week basically. And after high school, kind of like how Sam said, where like, I never took a film class before because I think it would ruin movies for me. Because again, like how Sam is like, oh, this shot's like this and that. Because I'm like that with anime, where like I got super into it. So I'm like, if anything small detail is wrong, or like I'll be like, I immediately notice it, and I'm not gonna like it anymore. So like for film, like I'm not as like big brain as these two probably, but I still enjoy like these like masterpieces of cinema or whatever. I might not know like these interesting shots or like camera angles or blah blah. I'll watch some of those videos and I'll be like, I've never even thought of that. Like, oh, we shot this thing here in this angle because this space is this and this and this, and I'll be like, oh, I didn't even notice. Like, I'm just watching the fucking movie. But I think I've seen more movies like in the span of post high school than I have in my entire life. So I just watch like any movie that I think is good. I stopped caring about like fucking AAA movies now. Like your Fast and Furious.
Your Marvel movies.
I mean, I watch them only because like everyone watches them.
Yeah.
But other than that's like Lighthouse. Have you ever seen Lighthouse?
I've heard about
No,
it.
I want to put that on the list, actually.
I watched it in theaters
Yeah.
because it was Robert Pattinson for Batman.
Yeah.
I was like, I want to watch a Robert Pattinson movie before Batman, and that was that movie.
Yeah, no, I almost put that on the list too.
It's an incredible movie. It's a lot. But like, yeah, like that's the kind of things where like A24 as to the company,
Mhm.
like they're starting making more of those kind of
the
like
Midsummer.
yeah, like they make a
Fantastic.
lot uncut gems. Like they make a lot of like very unique movies.
Did they make Mother too?
I don't think so.
No,
I don't
No.
know.
that's a good movie too.
I think they didn't make a.
A24 is just generally a really good production.
Yeah, they make Hereditary. Did they make Hereditary?
They
I
did
think it
make,
was,
I
yeah.
think they made
So like they make a lot of different shit. I'm not saying like, oh, it's like the perfect indie film or whatever. But yeah, A24 is like, it's kind of making indie movies kind of more like mainstream, so
Yeah.
more people can watch them. Because there are a lot of great movies I've never even heard of that are on our list that I'm like, oh, I've never even heard of that. I'm interested to watch them. And probably other movies none of us have heard of that are like incredible movies that I'm like, I wish I could watch. I wish I could know where and when those movies come out. Because like, I love movies, man. Like I love movies just as much as I love video games probably.
Yeah, no, movies are great, man.
Especially if they're quicker, like you just 2 hours, 3
Yeah.
hours, an hour. That you're done. You don't have to fucking play a video game for like months on end and then regret it.
Yeah. So, obviously,
Sorry, I didn't even say my favorite movie.
Oh.
did I? My bad. I went out for a while.
What's your favorite movie?
Well, some of my favorite movies. I think Sam knows this a lot. I love Scott Pilgrim vs. the World. It's an Edgar Wright movie.
Yeah.
It's my first Edgar Wright movie was Scott Pilgrim vs. the World. I love that movie. As again, what I mentioned with like the visuals and the way like his visual comedy is made is incredible. And that made me like his other movies as well. Like Baby Driver. I love Baby Driver as well. I love a lot of military movies like Saving Private Ryan, Dunkirk, 1917, especially 1917. That movie's incredible. I don't think you guys have ever seen that one. That movie's incredible. And then for like I think Spider-Man is probably my favorite superhero movie. Spider-Man 2 specifically, sorry.
You can tell a lot about what your favorite Spider-Man movie is.
What is that supposed to mean?
Yeah. You can tell a lot about a person.
Yeah, you can tell a lot about
Based on
someone.
what they say, yeah.
Or
Like,
saying
like
I
if
have chronic back problems.
no. Like
I get harassed.
Do they have good taste?
like you already know. Like I'm about to say that.
yeah. I know your favorite Spider-Man movie.
The Amazing
Amazing
Spider-Man. We
Spider-Man 2?
started our
That was
first
the first
podcast.
ever.
Our
You
fir-
saying Amazing Spider-Man.
our
I'm
first
saying it for you.
Yeah, our first line in our podcast is that Spider-Man, the Amazing Spider-Man 2 is my favorite superhero
Spider-Man
movie.
movie.
Yeah.
Spider-Man movie, yeah.
So that should tell you that Alex has awful taste.
Terrible taste.
It's more like a guilty pleasure. I know it's bad, but
And I think for me in high school, Quentin Tarantino was just incredible. I think I watched almost all his movies during high school. And that came out at
Yeah.
the time. I think Hateful Eight came out when we were still in high school.
I think it did. Yeah,
That was my first Quentin Tarantino movie in the theaters. And I think I've seen almost all his movies except for the one that's on the list. But the other ones I've seen all of his movies. I think his writing is very like. I think I saw a video like it's not realistic, but it is at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
Where like more people wouldn't say the shit they say, but it doesn't feel like a natural.
it's more
conversation.
realistic, but there's always a twist.
Yeah. And like Christopher Nolan with his like his ideas are just fucking like Inception, Interstellar, Tenet, like all those like ideas he has. It's just that his writing's gotten worse. Because his brother stopped working with him. His brother stopped writing movies for him, I think, since Inception. So after that, his brother stopped writing. So that's why some of his movies later, like writing wise, are not that great, but like idea and cinematography wise, are just like incredible. I think I mentioned earlier with Matt Reeves, and then you mentioned Wes Anderson.
Yeah.
And he's like another great comedic. And you know, some of his movies, not all of his movies, comedic.
Yeah, not all of them, but he has a great understanding of. He has an understanding of the medium. He knows how to set up shots so that it symbolically works, so things show up great comedically. It's just the film buff's wet dream almost.
I think he made like stop motion, like fun again. I feel like people used to make stop motion movies just to make them.
Yeah.
I feel like he makes them, and it's like I feel like it should be that way, as opposed to like movies like making them. And it's like what's his name again? Fucking Tim Burton. Like no offense to those movies, but like I don't really like most of his movies anyways.
You don't like
but like his stop motion.
You don't like
movies or
Nightmare Before Christmas?
Not really. Where like I feel like he like his gimmick was just that for a while.
Yeah.
And it's like Wes Anderson doesn't do that all the time. He does like movies like two.
He has two
of them so far.
two claymation
Out of the
movies.
Dogs and Adventures of Mr. Fox. So like I feel like he's also like he can do those movies. He can do like a Grand Budapest Hotel and what was that one you watched the trailer for? Was that his?
Darjeeling Limited, or was it The French Dispatch? Like he has like I don't know. What was it about?
The one with Adrian Brody.
The brothers?
Yeah, the three brothers, right?
Yeah, that's Darjeeling
that
Limited.
one. Is that he made that?
Yeah, that's him.
Yeah, it's like shit like that. I think the Coen brothers are really great also because they also make a lot of different genres. I think I have like some of them are in like Old Country for No Men, Oh Brother Where Art Thou, Barton Fink, the Ballad of Buster Suggs, all those movies. Like they make all different genres, and some of them are funny. Some of them, Big Lebowski, like they're all funny. Some of them are funny. Some of them are dark. Some of them are like serious movies. Hill Caesar. I don't know if you heard of those ones either.
No, but I heard that one was like all right.
I watched it.
There was something
I didn't
about
really
that.
get it. Like it wasn't like I didn't get the point of the movie.
Mhm.
But it's still good though. It's not terrible. It's good acting in it. But like yeah, like those people who are like they don't make any movie. They make movies they specifically want to make. And I'm not saying like oh fuck the dudes who make the Marvel movies, the Fast and Furious, because I think some directors from those movies are great directors.
The Russo brothers.
The Russo brothers, the dudes who made Black Panther. I think he directed Creed. He directed the other Michael B. Jordan movie, Fruitfilled Station or something like that. Like some of them, so they get like good directors. Sam Raimi is gonna do the
Doctor Strange.
one that is gonna come out. So like they do good movies, but like some of the directors only kind of just do those kind of movies where they like a company just like oh just do this. Can you make this movie for us?
Iron Man 3 was almost exactly like Kiss Kiss Bang Bang by Shane Black because he directed.
Did he make
both
that
of them.
movie? Oh,
yeah, he directed both of them. I was gonna say that's one of my favorite movies too.
Kiss Kiss Bang Bang.
Kiss
I
Kiss
haven't
Bang
ever seen it.
Bang.
We should put that on the list.
We should put
I
that.
haven't
Yeah,
seen it.
I'll add it right now.
Sure. And speaking of the list, maybe
No, I was gonna be like, yeah.
Why don't you kill some time while I add it to the our new mechanic? This is the first time we're using it.
Oh yeah,
We were gonna unleash it on the podcast, but because we made this totally just now, we have a wheel of choice
that
that
helped.
has our names on it, and then a list of movies per person, instead of us just hitting Google number generator.
All right, you guys ready?
So now we're gonna spin that wheel.
Oh.
Oh.
The boy
Okay.
with the most golden locks. I'm not blonde.
We're choosing a movie from Omar's list.
The longest list. We didn't mention we had the list beforehand. I had 43 movies on my list, and I stopped. So I have like the biggest list.
You already know I want a movie from your list to be first. So.
And also, to be fair, not all those movies are in the wheel. We reduced the wheel to like 20.
Yeah.
I'll restock it once if we go through. But,
All right, you guys ready?
This is gonna be interesting. I didn't know how colorful the wheel was gonna be. I can't see.
Oh
my
God.
This Alex literally, the second I said this, he said, "Can we do this first?"
I really wanted Jojo Rabbit to be our first movie, and you know what? I got my wish.
Alex's hungry power.
I
activated.
manifested it into this podcast.
I love that.
God said, "You're so hungry." Jojo
Yeah, he's like,
Rabbit.
you're starving yourself. I'm gonna throw you a bone.
Yeah.
Jojo Rabbit, directed by Taiki Waititi, and he's also in it. He's
Yeah.
he's a
He's starring in that. But
as a character we cannot say his name. Probably.
No.
Should we like have a code name for him next episode?
Sure, yeah, we'll figure it out in the meantime.
I hope we don't get in trouble.
No, I don't think.
Putting the thumbnail.
It's
what the movie is.
I'll put the thumbnail with the kid and just censor out the
Draw a stick
symbolism.
figure.
yeah, but yeah, that's on Disney Plus, right? I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, it's like it's right next to Schindler's List.
If it's not, I got the Blu-ray for you guys.
Okay.
Yeah, I have no idea where to watch.
Yeah,
this
that's
movie.
another one of my favorite movies.
All right. Well, yeah, we're gonna watch Jojo Rabbit and then probably review it and
Fuck
discuss
yeah,
it next
I'm-
week. Then.
I'm excited. All right, guys. So now that we chose our movie to watch, why don't you guys watch along with us? Because it's
Now available to own on DVD and video.